Hi, I'm Matty Conrad and I look ridiculous. What's up, GQ? I'm back. It's been about 10 weeks since I have done anything to my beard. I've always believed there's a lot more to having a beard than just not shaving, as evidenced by what you see here. And although there's a lot of hair on my face, it's not very flattering. Today we're gonna shape it in there and make it a little bit leaner looking. Growing a beard out like this, I'll be honest with you, hasn't been fun. Normally, I would be shaping it and trimming it along the way, but I did this for you so that we can show you the dramatic impact that a little bit of shaping has to a beard. A lot of guys will just get to this stage where they haven't done anything to their beard, and you'll notice after a certain point, there are a few things about life that become a bit more difficult. I'm sorry, I'm gonna need some napkins. No, I need like all of your napkins. The real problem happens when the hair on your upper lip starts closing over top of your mouth. Now, normally, I don't like to see both lips fully, but at this point, my mustache is poking my bottom lip. Hair's just been growing from everywhere, and I'm starting to lose my face shape. And the idea of a beard is that it is sort of an augmented jaw shape. It gives you a much stronger, squarer, more masculine look. But as things just grow outward, it starts to make you look a little more pear-shaped, a little wider, broader, and rounder. So what we're gonna do is start by attacking the areas that we want to make look leaner, and we're gonna show you the areas that you want to leave to let grow longer to give you a stronger looking jaw shape. Step one is prep. The best time to trim a beard is when you've freshly gotten out of the shower. We want your beard to be as natural as possible. But if you don't have time for that, you can take a towel, rinse it under hot water, and wrap it around your face for about 60 seconds. The heat and the moisture is gonna help reset the hair and take out any of the little kink lines that I'll get from wearing a mask or just sleeping on it weird. Oh, that's hot. Oh, whoo. Once we've done that, we're gonna take a blow dryer and a pick, detangle the beard, and try and get it into the nicest shape we can make it. If you don't have a blow dryer handy, the best thing you can do is take a wide tooth comb or a pick, just detangle the beard and work it downwards into a nice natural looking shape. You don't want to puff the beard out all the time because it's going to remove a lot more hair. All right, now that we've gotten all the tangles out and we've got the beard dry, it's time to start shaping. Step 2, shaping. Today we're going to be working with an electric clipper and an electric trimmer. The difference is that the clipper removes the bulk of the beard while the trimmer does the outline. The trimmer and clipper that I use are from Babyliss Pro. This is the Gold FX trimmer, and it is hands down my favorite that I've ever used. And this is the FX Pro clipper. It's a really, really good clipper for taking down full girth beards of any thickness. The area of the beard that we're trying to grow is here at the chin. We're trying to augment the shape of the jaw and give it the strongest shape possible. So we really want to leave this hair as much as possible. But the hair that is growing out the sides is getting puffier and puffier and starting to obscure my ears. Now we want to try and make that as narrow as possible. The best way to do that when a beard is this length is to start working with a clipper with guards. Most clipper sets will come with guards that look like this, and they all have numbers on them. And each number designates how much longer that hair is going to be left if you use it right against the skin. So when you're trying to get your sides caved down, I usually suggest working with a number 2 or a number 3 guard. The number 3 guard is going to be just slightly longer, and I always believe in starting a little bit longer because you can always take more hair off, but once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm going to take my number 3 guard and I'm going to put it on my clipper. Then I'm going to turn the clipper on, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to work in a downward motion with the clipper guard right against my cheek. But instead of rolling in with the shape of my jaw, I'm just going to push it straight down. I'm going to start from the top of my ear, and I'm just going to comb straight down, pushing the guard against the side of my face. Then I'm going to run my comb through just to make sure that all of the hairs have been cut evenly. Sometimes when you do this, it takes a couple of passes because little hairs will pop out that you didn't see before. That's already looking so much better. Once I've gone through the sides with my number 3 guard going straight up and down, I'm gonna put a number 2 guard on my clipper, which is a little bit shorter, and I'm just gonna work from this area up so that I can blend it a little better into my haircut. I'm still gonna take my clipper upside down, I'm gonna push down with it, and I'm gonna scoop outwards away from my face. That's gonna take this top line, make it just a little leaner, and give the beard just a bit of a taper. I'm gonna do this side now. Oh my God, that feels so much better already, you don't even know. Honestly, this is the part of my beard that has been driving me the most crazy, is the part that makes my face look really round and pear-shaped. So even just taking these sides down feels amazing, because already my face looks leaner and stronger looking. And that's what we're all going for. Step 3 is the base. Once we've got the sides nice and lean, now we want to start shaping the shelf. The shelf is the bottom part of the beard that goes from the chin to the Adam's apple. We want to make sure this looks nice and clean, and you can see from not shaving, mine doesn't. So what we're going to do is try and maintain as much length as we possibly can in this area. So I'm going to comb all of that down to get out all of the tangles that are underneath my chin. Then we're going to take a clipper without a guard. We're going to invert that clipper, tilt our chin back, and we're just going to clean all of the little hairs that are hanging down that don't look uniform. Now you can see from my nice white t-shirt that is now covered in hair, there's a fair amount of hair that needed to come off in that area, but it was all sitting behind my chin. The reason we tilt our head back is so that when we have our head at a natural resting position, there's a slight downward slope to the beard, and the longest point is right at the chin, just like on your face. That's why it gives such a strong jaw shape. So I'm just gonna comb through here and take one more pass and make sure everything is nice and clean. One of the things you want to think about when you're trimming the baseline of your beard is that you don't want to see any hair growing from your neck in behind the natural length of the beard. So as the beard gets longer, the line that we create comes lower and lower and lower. You generally want to try and keep that line either straight across or slightly angled down into the Adam's apple from the corner of the jaw. I think it's starting to look much better. Now that we've tackled the interior, it's time for step 4, the outline. For this stage, we're going to use a trimmer. And a trimmer is designed to press really nice straight lines directly against the skin. When you use it like this and press it right into the hair, you're going to punch a straight line. If you want to shave the hair down closer, you're going to use it flat and work right against the skin. So we're going to start with our baseline. The baseline is the bottom line of the beard that goes all the way around and generally creates the shape of the beard. We're going to start behind the ear and we're going to work our way straight down to the corner of the jaw, trying to make a nice, clean, straight line. Then I'm just going to take the hair and comb it back very slightly to make sure all of the hair is nice and cleaned up around that back edge. Now we're going to tackle the baseline. Again, comb all the hair down and create a nice square line right across the neck. Once that's done, turn the clipper to a softer position and remove all of the hair up to that line. Bye-bye, neck beard. Bye-bye. And then we're going to take the opposite side and clean that area down nice and square. Already. It's starting to look like a beard. Next part of the outline is the top line. Now this one can be a little bit different depending on the shape of your face. If you have a very round, full face, you want to try and keep this line as square and straight as possible. But if you have a narrow face shape, you probably want to try and give it just a little bit of roundness. The way that we do that is tricky because this is straight. So how do we make it round? Here's what we do. We take our finger and we pinch our skin upwards, and then we create a straight line from the corner of our sideburn down to the corner of our mouth. When we release that line, it has a really nice, soft, gentle curve. The trick to getting it even is to make sure that you're aiming that line towards the corner of your mouth. There's the outline for our beard, but there's still one very important step that we have left to do. Step 5, the mustache. Now, the mustache is a very important part of the beard. I believe that the mustache pretty much dictates the entire vibe of the beard. And everybody's mustache is just a little different. Some people have a very thick mustache like mine, and for some people, it's very sparse and fine. The type of mustache that you have is going to determine where you want to put your lip line. Growing a mustache this long makes it really hard for you to do simple things like eat. So you want to make sure that we keep things looking functional and stylish depending on the style of beard that you want to go for. Now, if I take my lip line up too high and I can see both of my lips, that's not sexy. So I always like to make sure that my lip line is slightly lower and peaked in the center, usually over the center of my top lip. If you have a finer mustache, you're gonna wanna take that line higher and clean it directly over top of your top lip. The best way to create a peak in the center of your mustache is to comb all of the hair straight down, take a trimmer, start in the center with the trimmer on its side. We're gonna start at the center of the lip and we're gonna roll outwards from the center. We're not gonna push the clipper across, we're just gonna roll it outwards so it creates a descending line towards the outside of the mouth. Then we're gonna turn it sideways and do the same on the opposite side. Oh my God, that feels so good. Ah, I'm free, I'm free! Now the mustache has essentially two parts to it. It has the peak and it has the points. I always find that I like to leave my points just a little bit longer. That's the outside of the mustache because it has a tendency to blend a little bit better into the beard and gives it a little bit of a biker vibe. And I've always kind of liked that. So I usually leave my points to get just a little bit longer at this stage. But I like to keep the peak very nice and clean so that I can put things in my mouth without it all tasting like a mustache. That doesn't mean that the mustache isn't kind of bulky on its own. So to remove bulk from the mustache, you want to bring it forward just a little bit, comb it out, and then I'm going to take a clipper and a guard, and I'm just going to run over the top of it using my number 3 guard just to take off some of the little things that are poking forward, make you feel kind of like Davy Jones in that movie with a blah, blah, you know, that's not cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little trimmer and I'm just going to run it down the front of the mustache. And that should be just enough to get rid of all those little guys that want to spray forward. The last thing we want to do with our trimmer is we want to make sure that we don't have any hairs that are growing straight up. So we're going to outline the top of the mustache and this little corner here, just using our trimmer. That is looking much better. Really important to understand that we didn't need to cut all of the hair. We only needed to cut the problem areas. All of this area in the front, I left completely alone. The only things we needed to clean up were the lip line, the top line, the base line, and take the sides down just a little bit. You can see though the massive impact that that has. It's not gonna be the same kind of shape if you just take a trimmer and a guard and apply it all over everything. That's not gonna make your beard look better. For those of you that have exceptionally thick beard growth, it's probably a good idea for you to invest in some sort of a foil or a razor. I like to use a foil because it gets just as close as a razor and I have a little bit more control on the shaping. So I'm gonna take my foil and I'm gonna run it all over the neck area just to get rid of the last little bit of stubble. There it is, clean as a whistle. Step 6, protecting the beard and the skin. Anytime you shave the hair down really close to or even slightly beneath the skin, you wanna make sure you're protecting your skin and taking care of it. I like to use an aftershave balm to make sure that my skin is nice and clean and sanitized so I don't get any infections or irritation. That feels better. Now it's time to protect the beard hair itself. There's 3 primary products that you want to think about when it comes to taking care of your beard. And the first one is a moisturizing wash. A dedicated beard wash is designed to work with the hair that is on your face that is usually a little more coarse than the hair on your head and keep it nice and soft and clean. I know a lot of you guys are out there probably using a bar of soap, but what that usually leads to is drier hair and drier skin beneath the hair, which means itchy, flaky beard. Not sexy. The next product that you want to use is a beard oil. Now, beard oils are meant to penetrate the hair and the skin to keep them nice and soft and supple. This is going to help you avoid any itch or flaking. Using essential oils as a base for fragrance is always advisable rather than a parfum. If you're using something that has a chemical fragrance to it, it stays long and strong and it's right underneath your nose. These things can sometimes lead to irritation and headaches. The last one you want to think about is a beard balm. Now, a beard balm is going to be anything from a thicker cream to a very soft wax. And usually those things add a little bit of styleability to the beard. They really help you hold down some of the flyaways and keep all of those little hairs in check, which makes your beard look smoother. The best way to do that is apply just a little bit to the beard and then brush it in using your flat brush. The flat brush is the best way to style and groom a beard to make it look nice and smooth without putting tension on the beard hairs by using a comb. The only time you want to use a comb in your beard is when it's wet and you're trying to detangle it. You want to use a beard balm every time you style your beard. If your beard looks greasy or shiny, you're using too much. If you're still trying to get your magnificent man sweater under control, I suggest using just a blow dryer and a brush. A blow dryer and a brush is best used when the beard is wet. The heat from the blow dryer will help smooth out some of the hairs that are poking up, and the brush will apply just enough tension that it'll hold it down in place, making it look smoother. All right, guys, that's how you can take care of your beard over the next 2 months, because I'm gonna keep growing this thing until we get something that looks a little fuller and more like a lumberjack. So if you're growing your beard along with me, at this point, all you need to make sure you're doing is keep your baseline nice and clean, shave that hair on the neck and the top area, and let everything grow. If you find that the sides are getting a little puffy, go through the steps of this video again, but leave the base. Make sure you let this area grow longer and fuller. And before you know it, you and I are gonna be wearing flannel and chopping down trees together. So until next time, good luck and good grooming.